Happy New Year to you all. It is a Sunday after New Year, so the 4th of January. I have my parents coming for lunch today, just to round off seeing them for the new year and everything. But before, I'm very well organised, which is a bit unlike me, I thought I would pop on and say hello to you all, as I did a post earlier in December, and then December, wow, what a busy month it is. Regardless whether you celebrate Christmas or not, for us it's very busy. My daughter turned 21. Obviously we all had the Christmas stuff in between. And unfortunately we also lost our dog just before my daughter's 21st birthday. I won't dwell too much on that because I'll still get upset. But yes, so partway through the month all sort of went a bit Pete Tong. Yeah, all a bit wrong. So, but let's move on, because that's just made me contemplate things. So I thought I'd come on today and share with you some what I've made running up to Christmas for the family, and gifts and things that I did, and then things that have come into my sewing room. So shall we get started? So the first thing that I will share with you that I made was for my husband. And it is the Mark Francis Baker Boy hat here. My husband wanted one after seeing, he's been watching Vinnie Jones on the TV, and he wanted a Baker Boy hat. He did actually buy one at the game fair that we went to back in August, but I'd already bought this pattern. I bought it at the NEC. Was it Sewing for Pleasure back in, was it March? Gosh, I bought it ages ago with the intent of making him a Baker Boy hat, whenever I bought it anyway. And this is the said hat. I had some of this tweedy wool fabric in my stash. In fact, I've still got quite a lot of it left. It was going to be a blazer. I was going to make it into a blazer, but with lots of things in my stash, it is still in my stash behind me. So I made him this. I measured his head with the pretense that I was making Christmas crowns. I got one Christmas crown. In fact, I got two Christmas crowns sewed up. My middle daughter sewed up a Christmas crown, and when she tried it on, it was very apparent that I'd printed the pattern in portrait instead of landscape. It was a free one off the internet, and it would fit a doll's head, not hers. But when she was sewing up, neither of us thought any different. So anywho, but that's how I managed to measure his head. And I'm rather pleased with it, considering I've never made a hat before. It is a bit big for me, but all in all, I think that is quite splendid, and I will be making more. So it's fully lined. Look at me with the labels. I actually put some labels in it, saying he's a good egg and made by my hands. But I think when I top stitched this banding here, the fabric has stretched a tiny bit. So he was in between sizes. He was in between right at the top end of a medium and went into a large. So I made the large, because the large for the hat is 60, God, I can't read that, excuse, 61 to 62 centimetres, and his was something like 60 and a half. So I went up to large, but it's obviously just a tad too big, so I need to unpick this seam and just bring it in a little bit. But that's fine. So that's, I made and gifted that to him for Christmas. I finally sewed up this kit that I've had in my stash for forever. It is a moon gazing hare. Can't tell you, non-organised me. Can't tell you who the pattern is by. I will put it in the description below. But yes, I think she's rather fabulous. She. And these are applique bits, so I've done a detail around there. The hair's all appliqued around as well. The front panel is quilted. I've just done a wavy design across it, and then the back is just that. This cushion, this pillow doesn't fit particularly well, but finally got that done, so that's good. And then for Christmas, I always sew got 3 daughters. I've sewn them pajamas forever, I think for over 6-7 years now for Christmas. I used to always sew, is it the Tilly and the Buttons Juno pajamas? I think it's Juno from the Stretch book. But last year so my middle daughter doesn't like the cuffs. She doesn't like the elasticated cuffs. She likes the jersey, but she doesn't like elasticated cuffs. And so last year I had sewed them, well, in 2024, so last year was now 2025, I sewed them the Fran Pajamas by Closet Core. Now I used to always sew them a set of pajamas, but I've stopped doing that because Christmas fabric is very garish, I suppose, in a nice way. And if you sew the set, you can't match the top with the bottoms for anything else. So I've stopped doing that, and I just buy, ready to wear plain tops now. Last year they had cream, this year they had red, and then they can interchange with the other bottoms, and it makes them all much more wearable. So I sewed the girls these, if I can find them in my heap of things to show you. These ones. So I did the Fran pajama bottoms again, and I used this lovely fabric and these little Father Christmases in the car and these Christmas trees on a pink background that I bought in June last year when we went to Lytham St Anne's for a couple of days before we went and picked my daughter up from Lancaster University. And I sewed them up in December. So I've had the fabric since July, knowing what I was going to make with them, and sewed up 3 pairs in December. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves? So Organise Me was not organised in the sense of not sewing them up. So they've all had the same size, but I give them all different labels. So these are my eldest daughters, and it's she's rather be napping, and on the other side it's party animal. Lily's had the party animal on the outside and in a different pocket placement, and I can't remember what I put on B's. But yes, so they all had a set of those. And my husband had these. Now I would always make him a pair out of the Great British Sewing Bee book. The template's been cut for years. Could I find it this year? No, I couldn't. Have I found it since? Yes, I have. But I used this fabric again. I picked this up at the Sewing for Pleasure or the Quilt Festival back in it was definitely from the NEC. I might have even picked it up 2023-4 with the intent of sewing them up last year, but I didn't. He had something else last year. He's had those, and he had, it's not twisted the waistband, but it's just, I didn't sew it down, so it looks like it's twisted. Self-made label from the Cozy Handmade Club, and this pattern, these are a really quick sew, is the Simplicity Easy to Sew Pajamas. You can see this is a well-used pattern as well, because he's had the set many times. Oh, I made him a red pair, a whole set last year in that. Simplicity Easy to Sew 3971. And the great thing about this pattern is it gives you loads of options. You can either do a small jersey top, they've got shorts versions, they've got the long. So quick, easy make for those using that. Oh, I didn't tell you what I'm wearing, and the only reason I've just noticed that is because I've seen the pattern, because I couldn't remember what it was called. This is the Friday Pattern Company Adrienne blouse. I very rarely wear it because I am quite a cold person. This fabric I got from First for Fabrics. It was a kit, God, like a few years ago now. I don't even think I've ever posted it on Instagram. But yeah, I'm wearing that, and I thought I would pair it with a thin polo underneath, just because I just don't wear it. Because if I wear a vest, it just doesn't, you can see the vest at the back. It's got 3/4 length sleeves, which I can't stand, even though loads of my blouses and tops has them. But yeah, so I've paired it with this today, and I thought I'd see how I got on. And I'm also wearing these are Fibre Mood trousers that I made also yonks ago now in a green needle cord. So I thought I'd wear that because I've got nothing that goes with this really either, apart from a black pair of really skinny jeans that are super, super skinny, which I don't really like anymore. So that's what I'm wearing. There we go. Here's my own blouse. Great pattern. That's a really good pattern as well, for easy for knits as well. So if you're not used to sewing with jersey, this is a great place to start. Really good there. But what else did I make? I made my middle daughter a onesie. I haven't actually got the pattern for that, so I couldn't tell you what it is. I think again it's a simplicity one, but yeah, so I got this polar fleece from Minerva in this pink leopard print, and I made her, it's quite oversized, but that's what she wanted, her one of those. And inside she has got a label which says, look at me with the labels, handmade with love, and another label there again, made with love on the inside. It's got a full zip in, and it's got pockets on the outside of the legs. I have one of these in a different type of fleece, so I made her that. As I say, it's quite oversized, but that's exactly what she wanted. And then I ordered some fabric from the Fabric Obsession, and Adele and Becky did a live, and they said on the live that a couple of people had ordered 4 meters of one of their teddy fleeces, their fleece fabrics. I was one of those people. It was such a large order that they had to put it in a bin bag. But I wanted to make my eldest daughter a Billy blanket. So I made her this. I'll show you how big. It's huge. I mean, it just goes on. I made the long version, and I lined the hood. I only lined the hood. I didn't line the rest. She's got a label on the pocket which is destined for greatness, and it's a cheese label again, Cozy Handmade Club, I think. So yeah, that's what I made with my 4 meters of fabric, which in the Billy blanket, if you've not seen it, it's this. My chair's very squeaky. I hope that's not coming up on the screen, on the vlog. But it comes in different lengths. I've made the long length, and I've made this before for myself. It's a free pattern. Well, it used to be free. I used to do a lot of cold water swimming, and I made myself like a dry roby thing, but I can't call it that because mine's not a dry robe, mine's a Billy blanket. But I made it with a waterproof fabric on the outside, and on the inside is a reversible fleece, and I put pockets on the inside as well. So when you came out of the water and you wanted to get changed, I'd take my wetsuit off, if I wore a wetsuit, because I have been known to go in when the had ice on the water, and then you'd get this thing on, and then it's so big you can strip off underneath, and then if you put your underwear in the inside pocket, you can get dressed without anybody knowing. Amazing. So highly recommend that. Very versatile and very warm. So that's what I made her. And there's been lots of other little bits that I've made as well. I made some little coin purses for the girls, made Christmas tree bags to put presents in, those sort of things, but I haven't got any of that there up here. But the other thing that I did make, which I will share, is the wonderful Label Keeper, which is the new pattern by Adam Sews. I made it in this Tula Pink Kitty Road, Tabby Road. I call it Kitty Road all the time. It's Tabby Road fabric, and I quilted mine with a wavy stitch. I do like a wavy stitch. And then on the inside, you've got the thing there, but you've got these little vinyl pockets, and you can store all your labels in it. And I just think it's genius. And for somebody that doesn't really buy labels, apart from recently, I blame Rachel the French seams for it, because she loves a label, and I sent her loads of labels because I was like, I don't use them. I've got loads, and I used to store mine all in a little tin. And I think that's probably why I didn't use them, because since I've been able to see my labels quite clearly, it's so much easier. You can think, well, actually, I'd use that. These came out of the advent calendar, Adam Sews advent calendar. Love them. And then he's also, talking of Adam and labels, recently launched his own label collection, of which there are some here. So I bought a packet. No, I doubt myself why I bought these and not the quilty, or these, and I should have also got the quilty pack, but I didn't. So I got the Cracking Make Bobbin Chicken, and then there is another one somewhere which is So Appealing. Oh, there we go. That was the space I had left in my label keeper. But you can see how terrible I am with labels, because when I was emptying my tin, I found these. Circa 2022. Obv's not going to be used now, but I popped them in there because that's an amazing thing to store them in, and it is a thing of beauty, and you can make it to your own whatever design you want and quilt it how you want. And the extra thing is you can add additional pages. I will be getting some more labels and adding some new pages very soon, but I do intend to make these, use them in my makes. So that's that. What has come into my sewing room? I've already said about the fleece that I bought from the Fabric Obsession, but I also bought from the girls this beauty. Now, this was destined to be my New Year's Eve outfit. We don't go out for New Year's Eve, we just stay in with the girls who are all adults now. They prefer to stay in with us, and we have nice food, have a few drinks, play games and sing karaoke, with a twist in that you can't choose your song, you can't see the words on the screen, so your song is chosen for you. You get scored on how well you come in on the timings and things, but it has to be the criteria is you must know the song. What did I get given this year? I got Slide Away by Oasis and Summer Loving by Grease. They were mine. But obviously, with everything else that happened after we lost Bunty earlier in the month, I thought I'm not putting additional pressure on myself. So, but I did buy this, and it is destined to be a Sirocco jumpsuit by Deer and Doe. It is still destined to be that, and may very well end up being my Plymouth Frocktails outfit. So that came in. From the girls as well, I also ordered some fabric for my dad, but I think probably because to make my dad a shirt, because I ordered so much fleece. Sorry, girls. And they didn't know what to do with it. They sent me the right fabric, but in the wrong colourway. So I got sent this, and they were really good about it. I did say I'd return it and everything, but they've said, no, don't worry about it. Keep it on this occasion. And then they sent me the one that I did want, which was this. Obviously, that it didn't become a shirt because it's still a flat piece of fabric. So might become a shirt for next Christmas. So that's that. And then the other bits that have come into my sewing room are, I'm a Minerva brand ambassador, which I've been really bad at recently, but I'm trying to get better. So I took the opportunity and got this beautiful cotton sateen with these lovely cranes on it, in a burgundy. They do it in different colourways. They do it in a green and a blue, which I deliberated on which one to get, but burgundy is very in, so I got this one. No idea what to make with it though. So if you have any ideas what I could make with this beauty, please add it to the comments. Let me know your thoughts. It is a cotton sateen. It's very nice, and I think I got 3 meters, so it can be a long dress to show off the fabulous print. And then the other bits, I needed some bag foam. So I've said about the labels that I bought from Adam, but I also needed some bag foam because the label keeper didn't take very much, but has depleted. My stash was getting low, so I needed some more because I want to make the Lulu Caddy, which came as part of his advent calendar, and I also want to make. I've had the By Annie Makers Caddy. Is it the Makers Caddy or the Catch-all Caddy? Adams is the Makers Caddy. The Catch-all Caddy pattern for years and never made it, so I want to make that. So I needed some more foam, so I got that from him, and I also couldn't resist to get some of the grey work by Tulip Pink, so I got the puffins. I love big cats, couldn't decide between which one to get, so I've got the cheetah but with the dark grey and the cheetah on the light grey, so I got those. And oh, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh no, no it isn't. I knew there was something else. A wad of his fat quarters, because I knew they'd be really good ones coming from Adam. And this pack that I got are on offer at the moment. So if you go on his website when you go and buy your label keeper, because who doesn't want a label keeper in their lives, have a look. And I got those, and there's some glorious ones in here, and I'm particularly thrilled, because they're great colours, the rainbow, but there's a few plains in there, which most of my fat quarters are not plains, and I really struggle for plain fabrics when I'm doing quilting projects, so that's fabulous. So let's talk advent calendars. I made my daughter's all an advent calendar many years ago, just from one of the panels. I bought 3 panels and made them up, quilted them. I always forget how small the pockets are on them, so I buy them makeup and bits all to go in it, and they never fit in. So, but because I've done that for several years now, my middle daughter always thought it was really unfair that I didn't have an advent calendar, so she made me one, and I'll put a picture of it in here. And it was really fabulous actually, but she gave me, I had lovely things in mine. I had some gin on Friday nights, so she worked out the dates, and on a Friday there would be a small bottle of gin in it, which is still downstairs. I've not opened them. I've got a dairy intolerance. I'm definitely not allergic, but I've got an intolerance, so she gave me loads of dairy-free chocolate in it. I got makeup, some lovely number 7, some really nice new eyeshadow, a fabulous mascara. It goes on. So I was very spoiled. This was my Christmas present from her. But she also made me the most wonderful pair of pajamas, because again, I always make them pajamas and they get given them Christmas Eve. I have never had a pair. So she made me these. Now I love nutcrackers. I know a lot of people like the gonks and things, but I am a nutcracker gal. And she found this fabric and made me the most wonderful pair of pyjamas. They fit amazingly well as well. So I have top and bottoms, and I have worn them loads. They need to go in the wash. So yeah, love these, and was so super thankful for that. And then last year I didn't get myself a sewing advent calendar, but I did this year. I treated myself to the Adam Sews, which came in a fabulous box. I've got it here somewhere. This chair is really annoying me, squeaking. Oh, it's right behind me. Oh, there's the label keeper pattern as well. So thoroughly recommend that. You've seen my label keeper. I also made the mini zip case, which I think I showed on my last vlog, by Adam. And that has, I'm storing my small fussy cutting quilting bits in there, but also he had some beautiful webbing in his advent calendar, which is in there, some custom made binding. I've put that in there. But the Adam Sews advent calendar came in a box, this box, and inside you got a variety of things. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, because I've also put a lot of what my daughter gave me in here as well. So some chocolates, that's from my daughter. But I'll show you my favourite things that came in this advent calendar. So Adam's advent calendar, lots of people have vlogged about it, so you probably know about it, was every even day in the run up to Christmas, and then on every odd day he'd do a tutorial on how to make something. So he did a glasses case, a card, and other things escape me. But my favourite gifts from here, they were all amazing, but this particular standout were the Tulip Pink unicorn pins. Absolutely love these. So much so that I'm almost too frightened to get them out of the case, but I will. A Tulip Pink ruler, which came on the last day, and I absolutely love this. For a quilter, you can never have enough rulers, so absolutely love, love, love. stickers were amazing. The button tuft thing was also awesome. The thread that I got a pen, but I got this. And I've been looking at this from Artiste. I'm a big, huge Artiste fan. Adam put me onto them a couple of years ago. I've made the, oh gosh, what's the name? Folklore sampler. Is it the Folklore? Or do I always call it Folklore because of Taylor Swift's album as Folklore? I think it's just the folk sampler. But I call it Folklore because the album came out at a similar time. I've done that. I'm doing the Farm Fresh at the moment. But I've had my eye on this one for a while. So this is the Knitted for You pattern, quilt pattern. Yes, so can't wait to crack on with that. I was going to start cutting this out yesterday, but I said to myself, no, you have not finished your Farm Fresh sampler, so cut out one of that, which I did, and I will show you. I got it sewn up yesterday and finished it early this morning. I actually did one of the blocks, pig and turnips. There we go, because I'm very behind on this. Most people have finished theirs. I am very behind, and this is the finished block. So this is my little pig with its turnips, and that was weeks 13 and 14. I have printed, I'm fairly sure I've printed all of these patterns. I've lost weeks 15 and 16, so but I do have weeks 17 and 18, which is this one, which is the cow and milk. So I shall be doing this one next, and then I'll have to go back and look at what I've downloaded to reprint, or see if I can find in the hideous mess that's behind me, weeks 15 and 16. But yes, so I thought rather than start something else, because I've also got starting in January, and I know it's coming very soon because I spoke to Adam last Monday and he said they should be here this week, I think. The second Star to the Right, don't know if that's coming this week, but certainly No Place Like Home, Sew Along, which I am doing. That'll be starting, so I need to do that. I've still got my Alice quilt to start and this one to finish. So this one, this little piggy needs to get on and finish this first. But yes, so that's what I've been up to. It's been lovely to catch up. I would just like to say a huge thank you to, this is the person that said they would never start a vlog because I was very worried about it all, about the negativity, the bad comments. As yet, I haven't had any. And if you do find that you don't like it, just don't watch me again. That's absolutely fine. I don't care. On that, what I would care about is if you made the comments to say that you didn't want to watch me anymore because of X, Y and Z. Unless it's constructive feedback, then I'm welcome to that. But yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that has subscribed, commented, liked my vlogs. Apologies that they've been a bit sporadic at the end of last year. I'm hoping to improve on that. I will definitely be doing a monthly one. I'm not going to promise any more of that at the moment because as you all know, most of you know, I work full time and I just don't want to commit to something that I can't carry on, but I should be able to do monthly. So look out for those. I hope you're all well. I hope that you had a lovely December, whether you celebrated Christmas, New Year, whether you don't celebrate and just had some lovely quality time with family and friends, or whatever you did. I hope that you had a wonderful time, and looking forward to 2026. And I will look up and catch up with you all soon. Thank you again for watching, subscribing. Do comment below. I do like to hear what you think, what you're making, what your plans are. As I say, my plans for 2026 is crack on with some of the quilting projects. I've got loads of dressmaking things to be doing as well, and also priority is to sort out this. I might do a filming as I go along about it, but yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Look forward to seeing you all in 2026. Have fun, look after your skin, take care. Thank you. Goodbye.